Hello, SMITE fans and SMITE viewers, and welcome to this very special broadcast, the second set of matches of the second week of the OPL. Of course, my name is Parathas, and casting alongside me today is my good friend Lynx Clone. Now, Lynx, Llamas in Pyjamas versus Deadweight, the two teams coming from CC. There's got to be some kind of rivalry going on here.
You would say that, but the weird thing is Deadweight aren't the exact. They're a very different roster than what was in Challenger Cup when they were known as Irish Wristwatch. So there is a rivalry, as you said, but it's not as strong as you make it out to be.
True, but again, this is probably the two teams that are probably the closest, I would say, in skill matchups. But before we get into picks and bans as well, I just want to remind everyone that we do have a giveaway going on. So just by watching the stream, guys, you're getting a point every minute. Subs get 2 points. And at the end of the split, the top 8 viewers in the stream go on the chance to win a massive SMITE pack, a snapback, a gold varsity jacket, and of course a SMITE tee. So make sure you guys are just watching the stream and racking up those points. We'll just go ahead and jump into picks and bans in a second here for you guys. So, yes, Lynx, what kind of things are you going to be looking for in these bans?
For bans wise, Susanoo is going to be the most obvious ban, and he's definitely going to be in there. Raijin coming in for the first ban, being one of the strongest burst mages currently in the meta. No surprises there at all.
Yeah, we saw Raijin pretty much banned or picked up in all of the games yesterday. Thor banned on the side of Deadweight as well, banning that global presence. Raijin just way too strong to be getting him into the picks.
Yes, and as you said, Thor, just that global presence of CC, he just has everything a jungler needs. There comes the Susanoo. There is no way anyone wants to be having him in the game. He currently is just such a strong early game jungler. His damage just from his one alone outweighs almost any assassin in the game.
No doubt. Again, another global presence banned on Deadweight. That's going to be Llamas. We're focusing these global presence. Of course, Athena. A lot of these strong supports are actually coming through. Athena locked in their away, so things like Kepri, Geb are still on the board, so a lot of strong picks that Deadweight can pick up here.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a warrior support. We've game last week. He picked up an Amaterasu support, so he's known for his very weird support. There we go, Guan Yu. This could be going to the solo lane, but that may be a Guan Yu support. Maybe.
It could potentially. I mean, we've also seen Shred, the solo laner for Deadweight, play a lot of things like Cabrakan. So it could potentially be going towards Weave and maybe saving that pick for Shred. But picking up the Guan Yu there is vital to Deadweight. It's just way too good to be letting it go into the opposition's hands, as Llamas in Pyjamas locking in Aokwong and Kepri.
So that means the Aokwong most likely will be going jungle. We got an Athena solo and a Kepri support, because you don't really want to put Kepri in the solo lane. Got a very weird draft, and usually when you have that Kepri, you have to pick up an Aokwong to counter it. But now that Llamas have the Aokwong as well as the Kepri, they're both an execute and a revive. Such a strong teamfight presence.
Kylie locked in for the jungler of Deadweight. Zeus, the first ban. Ochita got a triple kill in 2 minutes of the game yesterday, so really spotting out that, just banning away Zeus, not even letting Llamas pick it up. Scylla as well, banned on Llamas in Pyjamas.
I'm kind of surprised for the Scylla ban, especially from Llamas. Usually we see Swifty actually pick up the Scylla. We saw him in the relegation tournament do extremely well, so shame to see him go Rana Barana, getting a targeted ban there with a Shibalanke, ensuring that he can't pick up that hyper carry of an ADC.
I'm actually really curious to see what Swifty's going to be playing. As you've mentioned, one of Swifty's most comfortable picks is that Scylla. He played the Ra last week, which didn't really work out for him at all. Soul is the final ban for Llamas in Pyjamas, so I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to pick up in that mid lane role.
Yeah, now with the Soul Band out, and now the new Wild getting picked up for Deadweight, that would go to Agony. When we saw Agony in the first week, he played Rage and did extremely well with pressure, but now going that more utility of a god with new Wild, you got the Fire Shards, you got the Fog to help hide people in teamfights. It'll be interesting to see how Agony will transition from the more bursty gods to that utility kind of god.
And no doubt Llamas just contemplating their few picks here, mainly looking towards what do they need to pick up. They have an ADC and the mid laner left. So, two ADCs locked in. Jingwei and Ula. Very interesting picks there, Lynx.
My thoughts, this is just a guess. Since they have the Kepri picked up, I'm guessing Ula's going to go to the duo lane. You have both the Abduct as well as the Axe Stun combo. While Jingwei, she can basically either use her bolts to crit and split the wave, or just use a regular golden bow and crit the wave and just do that way. Bologna being the final pick for Deadweight.
And we'll go ahead and jump into our game number 1 here. Best of 2 series. We'll be jumping into that one. But again, I don't really see how Deadweight are going to win this early game pressure. Rana Barana and Dagnite going to be playing the Khepri and that Ula duo lane. They're going to have so much pressure in lane links.
Yes, Weave is going to find it very hard to even try and clear Wave, simply because Talo Assault is a channeling ability, and Khepri, if he uses Abduct onto Weave, completely cancels it out. And as well as that, you got Dagnet pulling him, and then you can have Rana Barana just throw an axe, leave Weave completely open. Even though he doesn't have the Warrior's Will, it's a fairly short dash, and they can easily capitalize on the mistake. Possibly even just pick up a curse, as we... Actually, let's have a look. Yep, Dagnet actually has picked up a curse. Very smart pickup. They can be extremely aggressive early. And then you have the Khepri heal, as well as the fact he can give and take away protections. This lane, if Deadweight, they're going to struggle in the early game, but mid and late game with that Kali, I wouldn't be surprised if Deadweight will win those kind of team fights.
No doubt. Weave playing at Guan Yu support. I mean, the heals and the sustain that he is going to have for his team, it's going to be pretty much impossible to take out any of the members on Deadweight. And also, as you mentioned, that Kali is going to be doing so much, has that ultimate, has that passive as well to bring herself back up to basically full health. But they also need to be aware that Tory Skies is going to be playing the Ao Kwong, who again, he's basically the magical equivalent of Kali, just basically one-hitting everyone and then jumping out or using that execute to just fly away as a dragon.
Yeah, I've seen Tory Skies in the past play an extremely mean Ao Kwong. Even though he wasn't able to win one of the games when he did pick it, he still had a very strong performance. You can't really go too badly with Ao Kwong once he hit level 5. That execute at 30% makes most teams pretty fearful. It's actually quite good for Deadweight they do have Guan Yu. They have someone who has like that instant like, kadoom, there's a heal. Like, as you can see, Guan Yu has gone into the meditation to allow that even quicker sort of just burst heal to ensure that they won't be executed and mess up Ao Kwong's ultimate timing.
Another interesting matchup that I'm seeing here in our solo lane, Shurik's playing that Athena in the solo lane. I love it. It pretty much cancels Bologna perfectly. As you can see just there, as soon as Shred is going to be using that bludgeon, taunt straight away. That's your ability gone, and your one of your biggest clears is taken down very low.
You're still going to get out-pressured by Bologna simply because even without landing the bludgeoning damage, the bludgeon
AoE
has
basics.
a cleave on it. But if you have that AoE auto attack, you're going to be clearing way faster than Athena. And since Athena has gone into the mark of the Vanguard, she's not going to be doing too much. She has picked up a purple pod, but that isn't going to be helping out too much.
Swifty in the mid lane, playing that Jingwei as well. How do you reckon he's going to match up against Agony and also Ogre playing the Nuwa and Kali respectively?
Since Swifty has gone into the Golden Bow with that AoE auto attack as well as the explosive bolts, Swifty won't have too hard a time clearing Wave, and with Tory Skies there just to back him up, it'll be about even. Usually Nuwa is made for quite strong clear, but now that ADCs are getting these hunters actually now picking up Golden Bow, getting that 55 physical power, as well as the cleave, they can easily clear it just as well as the mid laner.
No doubt, that'll be the matchup to watch in that mid lane. But over in our duo, look at the pressure coming out from Rana and Dagnite. Axe Stun comes through, a lot of damage being applied onto Weave, the meditation forced to be used up there. That's just how aggressive the duo lane can play on Llamas in Pyjamas.
Yes, especially, like, they just can keep landing those axe stuns, like, every time that happens. Ula outputs quite a lot of damage. The one con of an Ula is pretty mana intensive, but if you can get just simply the axe, the 3, and the 1 off at the same time, you're looking at easy 500 damage, at least.
No doubt, and it just makes it even easier to hit that axe stun combo if you pair it. Dagnite playing that Khepri has that. Oh, solo lane, bit of trouble here. Shred, Tory Skies lurking in the jungles. Hasn't hit level 5 yet, but 1 minion will do it for him. In this wave, he should be hitting level 5.
Yes, if he can hit 5, he can easily, but it looks like he's been spotted out by Shred. He's just going to have to kind of hide behind the pillar and just bide his time. Looking at Ogre, though, he is actually going to be back into the base, most likely to pick up his Ninja Tabi instead, actually, not a Warrior Tabo.
How do you like the Ninja Tabo over the Warrior Tabo on the Kali?
I'm a personal preference. For me, I prefer Warrior Tabo, but I can completely understand the Ninja Tabo. Where Kali excels in, she has weak auto attacks, but makes up for a very quick and fast auto attack chain. Usually you build a Shinsai second item to substitute for that, and with the Ninja Tabo you're just attacking quicker and quicker. And then you get the Fatalis, you get Wind Demon and Bloodforge, and soon you have a Kali attacking faster than you can blink.
In these team fights, do you reckon Llamas in Pyjamas would be trying to focus out Only Good at Solo as quick as they can and get rid of that massive damage outputter?
What they need to do, they need to put a hard CC onto Ogre. They can't just focus him. If he's able to get the destruction off, that means they've wasted their time. That's like I believe in max ranks, it's 6 seconds of damage, basically immortal. He can't drop below 1 HP. And even if they get weakening, he can still heal back up to around 15% health. So he'll be absolutely fine in the team fights. If anything, I would probably target Agony.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Agony is going to be doing so much damage. As you mentioned, he has that fog to really disguise his team in the fight, but also the Clay Soldiers and Shining Metal combo. If he can hit a stun into these tight corridors where the jungle is laid out, especially around a Gold Fury area, if he can land just one crucial stun onto Tory Skies, that's pretty much going to be GG for him.
Yes, and the Fire Charge is such a potent global ability. You're able to get vision no matter what of where everyone is. And late game, if you have a Soul Reaver, it does a surprising amount of damage for an ultimate that's designed to hit 5 people. You would think it's broken.
No doubt. And now the supports have started to rotate over to these mid lane. And that's just going to be starting to see these fights potentially break out. Really, these early game fights have been pretty much in favor of Llamas and Pyjamas. With that pressure, as soon as a big team fight's going to break out, it'll be really interesting to see who's going to come on top.
Now, the fight I'm interested in is between Horizon and Rana Barana in the duo lane. Yep. Horizon, he's actually known for being a dual player last season Joust. He was a Grandmaster. He's extremely good in the 1v1. Known to also play solo lane. So when these two are going to start clashing in these 1v1 fights, I want to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and also it'll be pretty interesting to see how he's going to be playing that ADC style. We did see him play a bit of support last season as well. So do you think that support play is going to maybe transition into his ADC play?
I don't think so. I think they've been doing enough clones. However, over in the solo lane, Shred is getting targeted under tower.
Execute's going to pick him up and he's going to fall down. First blood into Llamas and Pyjamas, but Shurix might be in a bit of trouble here as Ogre doing a lot of damage. Cavalry charge comes down as well, but Shurix able to get out of there with the Defender of Olympus ultimate. Good play there for Llamas in Pyjamas.
That was too easy, and also the Mark of the Vanguard just providing that extra little bit of health protections as well as damage reduction. Don't forget, Defender of Olympus does give you protections, and now he was actually able to get it with just so much mitigation that he wasn't going to die to Ogre. If it was any other god, they actually would have died, most likely.
1-0, reads the scoreline. Having a look into the graphs, it should be fairly even other than that first blood. About 900, not 9,000, should I say, experience in favor of Llamas and Pyjamas. 600 and about 700 gold in favor of them as well. It's not that big of a lead. Deadweight can easily come back from this one, as you've mentioned before. They do have that mid-game and late-game presence.
Yes, having a look at Bologna, actually switching up things a bit. She's actually going most likely into the Genji's guard simply because there is so much magical damage around the solo and jungle with both Athena and Alcon, outputting quite a decent amount of magical damage.
Yeah, Shred going into a very tanky build there. Expecting he has that teleport. If a Gold Fury fight breaks out, he's going to be teleporting in, has that Genji's guard as well, which is going to really do a lot for him, especially against Tory Skies.
Yeah, Tory is going to be the one thing Deadweight needs to shut down in any team fight. If they don't shut him down, they lose. That kind of goes the same if they can't shut down Ogre. Like, both junglers have such a strong presence in team fights. One of them can execute something, one of them can just dive the backline and output a ton of auto attack damage without threat of dying. And especially with now Dangan with the revive onto the Alcon, if they try and burst down the jungle and he's able to get away scot-free, they blow in their entire kit, and then Llamas can just re-engage and take away everything that Inside have tried to work for. Deadweight, sorry.
Left and right side mid camps are coming up here in a second. Easily traded here. 1-for-1 trade coming from both teams. Backing up solo lane again, a bit of an engagement. Shred taking down to about half health, and the Eagles rally. Double stun comes down, no bludgeon to follow up the damage though. And there it goes through onto Tory Skies, getting turned on there. Shred picks up a kill onto the double gank from Llamas and Pyjamas. Didn't work out for them that time.
That was agony. That was just like literally all he had to do was just wait patiently and just hit his 4. He just had to hit 4 and win the team fight. And then just saw Tory, because he saw he was getting a bit too aggressive there. Over by the speed, although dang it, getting chased by Ogre.
Yeah, speaking of being aggressive, Deadweight really looking aggressive to take on the tanky Khepri in the speed buff. But a full reset, 1-for-1, 8 minutes into this game. Both teams do have a kill on the board. Gold Fury fight could potentially be up next. Other than that, the next time the mid camps do respawn, expect to see a massive fight break out for both these teams here.
Well, currently, if we have a look at the ward vision, Deadweight have got 5 separate wards around it, while Llamas have 0 vision in that area at all, which is a massive disadvantage, especially since they have you need to keep an eye on Carly. Similar to Alcon, you need vision. And since Deadweight are wearing the ward, they might be able to even just quietly just sneak one away and just use one of their ultimates to take her, which is most likely the Sunbreaker, over in solo lane.
Again, another solo lane fight breaking out. Shred gets executed. No, it doesn't come through in time, but Eagles Rally was not able to escape out of that one. Tory Skies picks up his second kill of the game. Unfortunately, Shred, do you think he should have used the Eagles Rally to maybe escape there, or was it just too late at that point?
He should have, yeah, actually I completely agree. He should have used the Eagles Rally just to get that, one, the CC immunity, two, to actually kind of dive on the tower and make it harder for Tory to aggress. It could have obviously been possible that Shurix could have just preempted strike and then taunted to make it easier again, but that could have maybe given Ogre, Agony, just someone enough time to rotate and make them think otherwise. Pause coming through from Shurix.
Something that I also want to point out as well, Dagnite playing that Khepri, if he can get that ultimate, the Scarab's Blessing online onto Tory Skies in these fights, Tory can go absolutely ham. But something that Deadweight need to be looking out for as well, this is something that Avant weren't doing against Pandemonium last time. As soon as that ultimate comes down, they need to aggress. Deadweight, if they know that the Scarab's Blessing is down, they need to just push as hard as they can and just take one ultimate down on the team and just go for it.
Yeah, if the ultimate is down, focus either Swifty, Tory, or Rana. All of them can be quite easily bursted, and with Kali is one of those gods who like, oh, I'm just gonna dive you. I'm gonna stun you. I'm gonna do all this. Swifty has a very nice way of getting. If they had a Wheelix on the side of Deadweight, it would be much harder for Swifty to get away. But Swifty, with the persistent gust as well as the agility, giving him that extra little bit of dash, makes him a little bit more slippery compared to the other components on the team.
Game still paused out here. Just looking into the item builds as well. Shred finished off his Genji's guard. He also has that Warrior Tabai online. Tory Skies has finished off that Polynomicon, so he's going to be doing so much damage already with that early game build.
Yeah, just simply, as long as he does the Dragon Call into Wild Storm, that will easily, at least 50% if you're not tanky. If you're below now, she'll actually be absorbing a bit of damage thanks to the Genji's guard, but otherwise, she's going to be the more tankier members of the team. Ogre does need to be careful because if he's not able to get off the destruction before Tory bursts him down, that's when they start losing team fights, and that's when Llamas can really push this mid-game advantage that they're slowly starting to amass.
But then they also need to be aware, even if they take that mid-game advantage, will it be enough as they head over into late game? Game getting unpaused here. Still, Gold Fury up for contention. 9 minutes into this game. We haven't really seen, other than a few ganks in the solo lane, a big fight breakout, which is what I'm looking forward to, Lynx.
Oh yeah, especially once Weave starts getting involved in these massive team fights. Cavalry charge can really mess up a lineup. Luckily, the Llamas do have a way, they have a good advantage of the ability to spread out. Tory has the Water Illusion, Swifty has, as I mentioned, Persistent Gust Agility, Dagna can Adduct away, Rana can Leap away, and even Athena has Preemptive Strike. Like, they have a lot of ways to spray out. Gold Fury, now starting up by Deadweight.
And do they have any vision on it? They do have a little ward there, but in the top left-hand corner, it is going to be leeched by Deadweight. Not really looking to commit at this point to a big fight. They're really just looking to farm up, maybe hit level 12 and get their second relic online, finish off a few of their crucial builds. And that's what Ogre's really looking to do. I think that's what they're stalling these fights for. Ogre is going to back in a second. He might actually have enough to finish off that chin size and hit like a truck.
15,000 gold in hand. And now...
Easy.
Yep, easy shin size. This is the item that makes Kali.
I mean, it isn't a Kali game if you're not building that chin size. Just being able to stick to someone and also do that damage, that extra 4% of the maximum health. I mean, it's just a ridiculous item and it pairs so well with Kali.
Well, the sticking to enemies doesn't start until the Fatalis, which should be the next item online. Well, once Fatalis is online, you'll see an enemy just blink, especially since the incense gives her a physical power steroid as well as stuns out. Like, she does... I've actually had a look at her kit recently, just does so many different things at one time.
No doubt. Level 11, one level off of getting that second relic. Fatalis, oh, actually Gold Fury getting started up here once again by Deadweight. Have a lot of damage coming onto it, and Dagnite is the only one over here. The sun's come down. Deadweight pick up the first Gold Fury of the game, but the Defender of Olympus down onto Ogre. Manages to beads it away, using that ultimate to try and escape Weave, using that Cavalry Charge defensively to make sure if anybody is going to be hunting them down, they're going to get a core stun to the face.
That is, even though they were forced to hold ultimates there, Deadweight, that is a massive win.
They'll get tier 1 off that.
Tier 1, that is a pretty big loss, but they were able to secure the Gold Fury and not lose anyone. That is good enough for them. And since they do have to deal with the fact that there's 2 hunters on the side of Llamas, they have an incredible side for split pushing and tower, just taking objectives. They can do it so quickly.
If only they swapped out an Apollo, then they could split push their heart's content as well. Even if they did have a 4v5, they could still push themselves because they would have a second ADC. But working out for them so far, 2-1 reads the scoreline. Having a look into our graphs as well, still fairly even as that Tower and Gold Fury trade did come out.
Yeah, that's not surprising the graphs are too even. Since they were able to get that tower, they just kind of just pushed it back. This game has been very close. Like, there's no real way to tell who's going to win. But once we start seeing these late game team fights, both sides have a lot of burst damage. It's basically whoever falls first and whoever gets bursted will lose. That's how it's going to be. I know it sounds so simple, but usually it's a lot more sustained team fights and other things. This fight simply, I'm going to do burst, as you saw there from Tori. You are either dead or you are able to live and burst me instead with hard CC.
Just one ability doing, I believe that was over a quarter HP from Only Good at Solo. It really is a positioning game as well. If they can get Tori in the backline safely to take out a few of the members of Deadweight, but Deadweight also need to be aware of Tori and stay near Weave with those heals, it really comes down to positioning and ward coverage.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the Runner has actually picked up the Ula. The Axton, because you said earlier, oh, they should have maybe picked up Apollo, but the Axton makes the Kali kind of second guess trying to jump into team fights. If Rana can get off the axe before Kali can throw down the incense, then he basically can just have field day onto Kali, and instead of her like, yeah, I'm gonna get a free jump on the backline, instead she's taken 3/4 of her health out just simply because Ula's abilities just hit so hard.
And on top of that, if the axe stun comes down, they're also going to have a hungrier Kepri on top of them using that abduct and even the solar flare to make sure that the ultimate doesn't even come down. Left side mid camps here. Maybe being aggressed here by Dagnite, but Weave doing a good amount of damage. Swifty with those basic attacks on the Hunter is going to be doing a lot of damage to Weave, but he does have that conviction heal to just sustain himself.
Over in the duel lane, we see a bit of a boxing match going out. It's just they're trying to hit each other with auto attacks, just slowly strafing around.
Yeah, it's not the best idea to box out, but have a look. Very aggressive as Llamas and Pyjamas as they look to invade this speed buff here. Tory Sky's looking aggressive here onto Shred, but the abduct does miss, and now Swifty might be in a bit of trouble. The defender of Olympus comes down. Weave using that cavalry charge to be very aggressive. Get the stun. Good taunt onto Weave as well. The curse comes down from Dagnite, and he might actually be out of the fight. No kills picked up just at this point, but Shred just zoning away the rest of the team as they're able to pick up. Oh no, did they actually steal the speed buff?
I'm pretty sure they stole it, yep.
Oh, but in our mid lane, Agony forced to use the Sanctuary. The conviction heal from Weave is going to bring him back up to full health. Good spot there by Tory Skies, should I say, and baiting that Sanctuary.
What I'd really like, as you saw in that team fight, Bologna was just able to go really ham, like using that Frostband and just constantly auto-attacking. What I'd really like to see in her build is a Hide of the Nemean Lion. Since this lineup has a lot of auto-attack damage from both two hunters, it can really benefit the Bologna. It's just basically, you can attack me, you take damage, or you have to run away. You still, like, you'll be taking damage from me because I'll be slowing your Frostbound as well as my Shield Bash.
Do you think as well as the Hide of the Nemean should build into maybe a mid Guardian, or even put that onto Weave if they're looking to chase down, the slow will be applied. Do you think that's something that they could also look into building?
Mid Guardian would actually, as you said, Weave would probably be the better candidate for the Mid Guardian mail, because you don't really want Hide of the Nemean and Mid Guardian, because you have to be careful, because you can't build too much against the auto attacks, because then Alcong will expose that weakness. That's kind of like the beautiful thing about Alcong. Usually you have a physical assassin in the jungle role. With the Alcong, it really changes the dynamics up a bit.
And it really makes people who just build the standard builds and the kits really makes them change their ways if they're going to need a if they face an Alcong and they need to counter it. Gold Fury spawning in about 20 seconds here. Look for Deadweight to be taking their second one.
Yes, that wouldn't surprise me. As we saw the first time, Horizon just throwing down that Sunbreaker, and since the Gold Fury is standing in place, takes the full damage of all 9 suns, there's not really much you can do other than basically try and intercept it, since the Sunbreaker does take a little bit of time for it to fall.
But when it does fall, it does do so much damage, and it's also really good for objective securing. It forces people, if they're going to walk in and potentially try and steal it, they're going to take a lot of damage from the Suns, and also it does a lot of damage to the objective itself.
Axe stun going on to Weave, plus they fall from Dagnite.
Oh, the execute, not able to come down in time, and the cavalry charge gets popped up as well. Good stun there onto Dagnite to prevent that Scarab's Blessing coming down. Ogre forced to use the ultimate to escape out of the fight. Really good play there for Llamas and Pyjamas. The taunt comes down. That should be an easy kill. Shrix picks that one up with that armor wall. And Dagnite playing a bit aggressive there. But have a look in the backline. Shred doing a bit of damage onto Rana as well.
And now Llamas, if they want, they can actually try and do a goal fury attempt here. They actually could easily do it with the damage they have. And now since Cavalry charges down, I don't know.
Unless Agony does the combo, then he could steal. He's lining it up. Eagles Rally comes down. Llamas do take the Gold Fury, and the Suns come down as well. Good taunt onto Shred, but it forces him away. Swifty doing a bit of damage, but oh, Horizon with a good ricochet onto Tori might actually find the kill, but he doesn't find that last basic. Can Agony pick it up with the Fire Shard? Scarab's Blessing used perfectly there by Dag Knight.
Yeah, that team fight won for us. I mentioned this earlier. If Kali were to fall, Llamas would win the team fight. That's time. They simply just focus the Kali there, using the final confound to pick up the kill and ensure, even with the destruction down, just adding that additional burn and like just PM to it just to kill the Kali and ensure that she can't do anything in the team fight.
I'm just having a look into the total damage here as well. Only got it solo fairly low on the boards there, just above Khepri. It's really surprising to see, but that also comes down to Ogre hasn't really, as you said, he's really only used the ult defensively. He hasn't really used it to dive in the backline or try and take out the ADCs. And it's really due to him just being caught out.
Well, yes, they have both the Khepri pull as well. However, over in the solo lane, Tori getting a nice little blink in.
Should be able to find the execute, does manage to take him down in that dragon form. Tori runs with his 3rd kill of the game. He just plays that Aokwong so well.
Yes, if you didn't actually get to catch that, Shred was trying to lazy back by the tower, and since Tori actually had a blink, he was actually basically blink from around Fire Giant into that tier 1 tower, was able to get off the Dragon Call Wildstorm, and just absolutely melt Shred when he least expected it.
I love seeing Blink on Aokwong. It just means out of nowhere you can just see a hungry dragon. And because he pretty much 0 to 100s you so quickly, that Blink surprises you. It catches you off guard, and if your reaction time isn't as fast to pop that Sanctuary, you are dead meat.
And not to mention the fact Bologna didn't have the meditation, didn't have... she's gone also into a teleport. She has no way to reduce that damage when that meditation is down. Guan Yu, by the time Guan Yu noticed, it was too late. And they just simply watched as the dragon gobbled up Bologna.
Big grouping here on the right-hand side of the map. Could be looking to take out the final tier 1 tower on the map here. Shrewix and Dag Knight are going to be leading the charge. One taunt could really do it for Llamas and Pyjamas. Set themselves up for success in this team fight. But they've allowed Shred to come back into the fight as well. And it might actually break out here under this tier 1 tower. Shrewix is going to be charging up that dash. Could be looking to go onto Ogre here. Does get hit by that solar flare.
And now Llamas are slowly backing up, just resetting the team fight. They don't want to go in, not just yet. Horizon has also rotated, is actually kind of looking, he's rotating around to the speed buff area from the door lane.
He's just making sure that Rana can't split push that tier 2 tower. Still, neither team really looking to engage here in this solo lane. They're just really baiting, they're dancing at this point, just waiting to see who can get their first misplay. And Shred looking aggressive here, looks to go onto the team fight here. 4-man Bludgeon's going to get taunted out straight away. The cavalry charge comes down, that's a good taunt. The Defender of Olympus dropped down as well onto Dag Knight to prevent any kind of damage. Good positioning there from Tory Skies to go into the backline. Doesn't really find too much damage, however. And Swifty are looking, Swifty and the boys of Llamas in Pyjamas looking strong to take this tier 2 tower, tier 1.
However, the Clay minions are making a bit of taunt coming out to the Eagles rally, both from Shred. Now Kali using the lash as well as that. Tory Skies using the water illusion, but however, Ogre forcing the beads out from Tory Skies.
Now the ultimate is popped and Shrewix unable to find the taunt just at this point. Agony with a really good stun there with the Clay Soldiers. 3-man taunt is going to be pulled into the team, and Tori blinking back into the fight, finds the kill onto Agony. Doesn't manage to use that execute, however, but a perfectly timed blink there from Tory Skies, and they're looking even more aggressive as Shrewix is zoning out the rest of the members of Deadweight, and they pick up their tier 1, should I say, in that solo lane.
But they may also be picking up a tier 2. Rhino's just had free reign over this map.
But it might be a little bit of box here. Oh, good ricochet stun, but no follow-up there for Horizon. Should be a stalemate here. Rana should just recognize that he can't really box out a Hoi Yi, especially because he has that 1 level advantage and also that mark. Good play there by Rana, just backing away after taking a lot of damage from that tower.
Well, not to mention the fact, Hugi actually has the Shin size. Rana has actually opted to pick up a Transcendence a bit earlier, so he won't be doing as much auto attack damage percentage-wise to Horizon. So he actually does need to be careful in these boxing fights until he's able to get that Shin size online, get the Titan's Bane, and really chunk people in the team fights.
And I'm just having a look as well here. Agony's gone into the Warlock sash. He built that earlier on. He also has the Chronos pendant for that extra bit of cooldown. I mean, do you like the Warlock sash on the Nuwa?
In this case, this is one of the few guys I'd say it's actually okay, especially against an outcalling deck. Agony is going to be one of the main centers of rotation for Llamas and Pyjamas, Gold Fury being started up.
Doing so much damage with the 2 ADCs and the cavalry charge down, but the stun isn't in time. Deadweight managed to steal it away though. Weave with the cavalry charge stun. Perfectly timed there. And now they look too aggressive onto Barana, forced to back out of the fight. Dagnant with a good stun there. 3-man Eagles rally from Shred, should I say, and the Suns are popped down. Shred picks up his first kill, managing to find Dagnite. Good ricochet there as well. Tori in the back line manages to find Agony, and now Guan Yu, Bologna, and Hui might be in a bit of trouble as they're surrounded by the members of Llamas in Pyjamas. Good taunt there onto Shred. Ricochet not managing to find anyone. Rana doing a good job of boxing out all these members, but Tori is here at full health, doing so much damage onto Shred and Horizon. They're forced to back away under the fight here.
And now Swifty using that persistent gust to jump even further into the back when the explosive bolts being disarmed by Shred. Torn coming out by from Shurix there. Rana picking up the kill on Wave. 8-2 reach the scorecards. 5,800 experience, 1,600 gold, and a tier 2 to fall. This game is looking very dire indeed for Deadweight.
Good steal there from Weave to start out that fight, but really just got cornered. And Tori just doing so well on that outpong, able to just sit in the backline, be as patient as he needs to be. And as soon as a fight breaks out, he can just lurk around. And as soon as he spots somebody in the backline not protected by Weave, he just picks them up instantly and does so much damage. Really good play there by Llamas in Pyjamas, even if they didn't pick up the Gold Fury.
Agony is such an easy kill, even in the mid. Simply all Alcon has to do is just use the Wild Storm since it's more of a code, hit Agony in it, and then if Agony tries to ult, because Agony actually, for people who don't know the fire shards, you actually stand in place for a couple of seconds just channeling it up a bit. So while he's just like slowly channeling up, Alcon's like, I'm just gonna burst you down and kill you. That's fine, I'll take it. That's free damage.
Speaking of Alquong bursting you down, Obsidian Shard and the Rototahuti and the Polynomicon, that is why he's doing so much damage.
What I want to see, I actually prefer to have the Soul Reaver in that slot there.
Oh, big fight here in the mid lane. Rana might be in a bit of trouble. Good there from Shred. Manages to get the double stun of the Eagles rally. And now Weave looking very aggressive here on the Swifty, who's forced to use the ultimate to escape there. Dagnite unable to find that Scarab's Blessing before Rana Barana falls down to the hands of Deadweight. And they look to take the tier 1 tower as well.
Yes, even though Agony's built into more of a defensive build, Shining Metal combined with the Clay Soldier will still do a lot of damage. And this actually will be the first tower for Deadweight to actually pick up this game.
And they will easily be able to take it. It's a 5v4 fight. They take the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. They're all pretty much full health thanks to Weave and that Conviction heal. But they don't want to take their lead for granted here as they are looking to go back over to the tier 1 tower in the left-hand side of the map. No point pressuring a tower if you're not 100% confident that you can take it. They're really looking for these easy objectives to really not throw this lead that this small lead that they have.
And now they can easily take this tower. Even Bologna does quite a decent amount of auto attack damage. And now they're actually looking to possibly aggress onto Llamas.
Yeah, the fight's breaking out. Have a look at Tori Skies already in the backline. Ogre taken extremely low. They're forced to use that ultimate already in the fight. They're Dagnite popping the curse perfectly. Does get hit by that Shining Metal stun. However, Ogre doing a lot of damage. The Defender of Olympus comes down. Tori picks up Ogre in the backline. Horizon manages to find a kill onto Dagnite as well. Eagles Rally doing a good amount of damage. Weave finds the kill onto Swifty. And it's a good turnaround fight here for Deadweight as they are looking to take away this tier 2 tower, knowing that Swifty is out of the fight as well as their support Dagnite.
That was a really unfortunate fight for Dagnite. That was actually a triple ricochet. I saw it bounce off basically bounce off the ball wall, the back wall, and back again.
And
that was like,
look at Tori still lurking in the jungle. I mean, a triple ricochet stun with the mark, you don't survive that at all. Good stun there. Should I say taunt onto Horizon, doing taken down very, very low. In the back line though, Tori might actually pick up the kill, but he gets turned on there by Horizon with the mark stun. Good play there by Horizon, managing to turn around Tori and his cheeky plays on that outflong. Good 3-man taunt as well into the tower.
However, the Shining Metal plus Clay Soldiers will be enough, and Horizon picks up Shurix. Actually, they're going to have to retreat now. They're all extremely low. Rana throwing out the Scrooge. Rana getting actually disarmed there by Shred, as they're now forced to retreat. They're all very low, and if they stay for even a little bit too long, they could easily be turned around and just throw away this very easy lead.
Even though Horizon is a sub ADC, he's doing so well for deadweight. And just look at the build as well. And he's been hitting all of the ricochets. He's finished off. He should be looking to finish off that Wind Demon in a second here. But, I mean, shout outs to Horizon. He's pretty much been hitting all of the ricochet mark stuns that he needs this game.
Yes, the one way to shut down an Alkwong is kind of similar to the Kale. You need that hard CC. And kind of similar to how Rana can keep himself alive in the backline with the Axe stun, Horizon can do the exact same thing with his Mark of the Golden Crow Ricochet combo. And that stun can last a pretty decent amount of time, as well as the fact it adds an additional amount of penetration against the target that it's on.
Heading into the 27-minute mark, this is where we're really starting to see that late game draft from deadweight really start to shine. The last few fights have been completely in favor of deadweight. Llamas in Pyjamas really starting to recognize how strong the team is. Only good at solo, even though he's 0-3. He's finished off that Fatalis, has that Ichabod as well, building into Cloak as well. But, I mean, he's doing so much damage at this point, and they really need to be aware of that.
Yeah, that's most likely going to be a Mantle of Discord. And funny enough, Mantle of Discord has the exact same health percentage of Trick, so it will basically stun in an area at 30% or below HP. And for Tory Skies, his execute threshold is 30% HP. So basically, while Tori's I'm going to try and execute someone, he's actually going to get stunned out before he can even throw out that execute, and may be forced to pop a purification instead.
Speaking of getting stunned out, Run looking to hit that axe stun. That'll really be the engagement of the fight, unless a taunt comes through from Shurix onto Shred or Weave. But, I mean, it's 28 minutes into this game. Is it really worth dying over a Gold Fury this late in the game? They really should be doing this on the other side of the map with the Fire Giant. There's no point really fighting for this Gold Fury. Llamas either need to go for this fight and maybe look to push one of the towers in mid lane, or even go for Fire Giant. But they need to be aware that they shouldn't really throw away their lives just for this tiny objective 28 minutes in.
Yeah, basically whoever gets that Fire Giant, I know I may say this like, and this seems pretty obvious, but most likely they get the Fire Giant unless it's like, unless it's where you get it.
Oh, the axe stun onto Weave, followed up by a taunt, taking down half health, and the fight is broken out here. Good bludgeon coming through from Shred. Eagles Rally should be coming through in a second. 3-man stun there from the side of Deadweight. Horizon picks up the kill on the cavalry charge, looking aggressive into the backline, goes under Swifty. Shred now spotting that one out. Dagnite still has that Scarab's Blessing online, so he could be looking to go down. Shred uses that. Oh, it's Horizon using the Suns to pop down in the tower. Tori way too late for this party, my friend. Gets the execute off onto Weave, but as soon as he comes down, actually, he might actually get out of the fight here. Good defense there, I would say, from Llamas in Pyjamas. Horizon gets taken out by Tori as he plays aggressive again with the Defender of Olympus. Shred getting hit by that taunt. Tori playing so cheeky at this point.
Agony going into the as the airstrike comes down. Swifty just so low. So a Sanctuary actually being popped there by Agony, as now Shred and Tori.
Oh no. Shred getting cleaned, and Swifty returns it onto Agony. Ogre manages to find a kill as he's back now at full health using that beats. He should actually get away here. I don't think that Dagnite and Ogre and Shurix can really take him out here, but he might actually, I might be eating my words here in a second. Ogre forced it back out. Look at the power of the two supports. He doesn't have his ult. He might actually die here. Ogre,
he actually, oh my god, he abduct finishes him off. Oh, that is the cheesiness of the combo when you get both Dagnite and Shurix. You have a taunt and a pull, as well as a root and a slow to keep you in place. And even that miss confounded a little bit earlier, Dagnite just had to throw down the solar flood. That was it. That's all he had to do.
Failfish in the chat for Ogre there. Unfortunately, did fall down to the mighty two supports there, the two Guardians. But Gold Fury now getting started up by Rana Barana and Shurix. They'll be able to take that one out easily without, I mean, Weave could go for another steal. No, Llamas picked that one up. And really, they should be turning their aggression now onto the right-hand side of the map around that Fire Giant area. As you said, the next person to pick that one up could really look to end the game.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if, like we've seen in the team fights, it's been about a 75% win rate for Llamas in these team fights. Deadweight have definitely shown they have the conviction to win, and they can win it if they get some good cavalry charge and the Eagles rally, but otherwise they just can't win.
And now Deadweight almost finished off a lot of their crucial builds. Ogre's actually gone into the Spirit Robe instead of that Mantle of Discord as he predicted. Tori looking very aggressive here to go onto Shred, but he might actually get caught out here. No, oh, Shred missing the Eagles rally. Unfortunately, did not predict that one in time, and the cavalry charge comes down onto Ogre, and Tori using that ultimate defensively as well, but he might fall down for his mistakes here. Weave manages to pick up the kill there with the Taiyu Assault, and it's already a 4v5. the Llamas in Pyjamas not looking too strong as they're looking to defend this tier 1 tower. They really should be turning this aggression, but have a look over into our 2 ADCs. Swifty forced to have that Scarab's Blessing popped on top of him. Horizon doing too much damage to him.
And now Dana forced to abduct away as now the tier 1 and solo will fall. They could easily look to take the tier 2 as there's still members alive on the side of Llamas, making it a bit too risky for a fire giant, but tier 2 is much easier.
They'll easily be able to take this one away. There's only 4 members here able to defend it, but they do have the power of Horizon. On that Hoyi, taunt coming down onto him as well. The beads was used a bit perfectly there, I would say. Shred taking down to about half health, and Swifty forced to get out of the fight already, but Ogre in the backline's looking to go aggressive onto Rana. Barana doing so much damage with those in-hand basics, and the Eagles rally stun comes down onto Dag Knight. Doesn't have that Scarab's Blessing online at this point, but Swifty gets turned around by Only Good at solo. Agony finds a return kill onto Rana. Barana, they're looking for the Phoenix as well. Deadweight, what a great push here.
And now they can easily take this Phoenix and possibly even go for fight.
Oh,
However,
Tori
Tori
once
right
again
there,
manages
nice
to pick
kick.
up
Abduct
Horizon.
onto Weave. Tori getting a double kill thanks to the defender of Olympus. Weave the only man alive. This actually could be a massive three if they were able to get the Phoenix.
Triple kill for Tori Skies. What a great defense there by Llamas in Pyjamas. Closing that out with a triple kill. 12, 4, and 2. Tori Skies going crazy on this Ao Kuang.
And now they can easily have a look towards Fire Giant, with Shred being the only member alive, and with the Eagles rally being down for another 10 seconds, they could easily just burst it down before even Shred can have even a wink at Fire Giant.
However, Shred is still lurking around. He has that Eagles rally coming up at exactly this point in time, so they need to be very aware of this one. Oh, Llamas in Pyjamas do manage to take it away. Shred is going to fall down here. Unfortunately, not able to find the steal. Doing a good amount of jukes there, but Tori manages to pick up his 13th kill of the game. And now, Llamas in Pyjamas, all 5 members. No, Runner doesn't have the Fire Giant, but a strong 4 members do have that Fire Giant buff, and they're looking to close out this game as they're taking away the remaining structures for Deadweight.
Now, on paper, I would say Llamas, yeah, they've got the game, but then I just remembered, when they were versing a farm, the amount of Fire Giants they were taking before they could even win.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fascinating game, to say the least.
Well, I mean, they could have worked on it in the week that they've had. They're looking to really play aggressive here, taking the structures away, keep that Fire Giant buff to their full advantage. And Deadweight also acknowledged that if they're looking to defend, it's got to be at these Phoenixes where they have that pressure, as well as the Phoenix doing a bit of damage, and as well as they can back and, you know, heal in the fountain, then come back in the fight, as well as they have Weave. So Deadweight have a very strong defensive lineup as well as an offensive one. But it really depends on how well Llamas in Pyjamas are looking to be on the offensive.
Not to mention, Llamas do have to be careful. As we saw there, they're actually, as we saw, Tori was actually forced to clear the solo lane as 5 minions were about to actually pour into the Titan Pit. With that Phoenix down, they have to be a little bit, if it was like the Phoenix on the duo lane, I would be more worried for them. But they still need to be a bit careful of like how the 5 minions are in the wave, because they may possibly lose a second Phoenix for free just via the minions.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Tori Skies, he's gone for the Spear of Desolation, the Tahuti. He's got the Obsidian Shard and the Soul Reaver. That is just vicious right there.
The amount of physical power, I mean, sorry, not physical, magical, actually, he was rather being forced out by
Shred.
Tori Skies, as Shred has to back away from Llamas in Pyjamas. Ao Kuang, the amount of damage he will do just to anyone in that lineup. No, if they get just a simple 3-man taunt, that's all they need as setup, and then Tori can just blink in and just reset every single one of his abilities.
Dag Knight using that offensive pressure that he has on the Khepri, trying to zone away Shred there. Misses the Abduct, however, but now they're looking to close out this right side Phoenix. So they have the protection. Shurix with a good taunt in the backline onto Horizon. The fight is broken out here, and it looks to be on the offensive for the side of Deadweight. They're doing so much damage in the backline. Swifty taken extremely low at the start of the fight, and now Ogre doing a good amount of damage there onto Rana. Barana using that stun as well. Tori just lurking in the jungle, waiting for his prime time to pick up somebody in the backline. And it's great for the side of Llamas in Pyjamas because they know... Actually, no, Deadweight barely used any actives there. The only active use was the blink, so that was a perfect defense there for Deadweight.
Not to mention a Sanctuary was popped by Jing Wei just to ensure that the Fire Shards actually didn't kill her. But with that down, they
Sanctuary
need to be
and
even
beads.
more careful. And beads as well. They really do need to be careful. Okay, even though he hasn't seen it, he's actually been doing quite a bit in these team fights, like getting these nice instant stunts as well as jumping just at the right time most of the time.
Once again, the Gold Fury fight has broken out here. Really don't think the Deadweight can defend this. Right side Phoenix is actually respawned for Llamas in Pyjamas, so they have that extra bit of defense and security, knowing that Fire Minions won't be pushing in too far. It was a really good play there for them to push up that right wave just in case it did respawn.
Yes, and the only thing is, they don't really need that Gold Fury. Everyone has 6 items now. Like, the Gold Fury, all they use is a tiny bit extra bit of XP until that Fire Giant respawns in another minute. But otherwise, they could actually just easily look to possibly push up a lane. Make sure the wave pressure is actually, like, forcing Deadweight to push back instead of them having to slowly push up the wave when they need it. They still have Fire Giant, and they'll be losing in 4 seconds. They really just didn't get anything from the Fire Giant at all.
Yeah, other than the tier 2 tower in mid, but I mean, it's a tier 2 at this point. With the 2 ADCs, they have Swifty and Rana. They can take it out in about 5 hits each. So, again, yeah, they didn't really use it to their full potential, which is what they've really been suffering from in these OPL matches.
Yes, and if Deadweight, if they can get their hands on the Fire Giant next, and if Llamas weren't able to capitalize, that'll be a massive kick in there. That'll be the second. Actually, no, it won't be because the first time they were actually able to win. Yep. But I feel like Deadweight aren't going to be as forgiving as Avant. Like, they know, they were able to watch the games, they know what happened. And if they can get their hands, they're like, we need to use this, we need to push, we need to communicate, and we need to make sure we get that 4 minutes of effectiveness out of that Fire Giant bar.
Well, if Deadweight play their cards right, they have such a better objective secure. They have the Agony with the Shining Metal stun, doing so much burst. Horizon has the stuns as well. Weave can go in and stun the entire team as well as Ogre. Shred has that Evil's Rally. If they just play their cards right and don't lose to this dance-off battle, Deadweight have a very high chance of even stealing it away from Llamas.
But then Tori, guys, like, Tori makes every single fight for Deadweight a lot harder. Because if you don't have vision on where the Aokwang is, you're essentially flying blind. If you have vision on even if you have the other 4 members clearly spotted, if you don't know where the Aokwang is, your team fight is completely up in the air and you could easily just get completely surprised by the Aokwang.
And the dance battle has once begun for about the 5th time in this game here. Other team really looking to commit unless they're looking to catch someone off guard, which is the primary job of Tori's guys. Look at the backline, completely obliterates Horizon there, and he might be in a bit of trouble. The defender of Olympus comes down as well to mitigate any of that damage, but he turns it around onto Ogre, and the Eagles Rally's forced to use overall. The cavalry charge stun comes down as well. Shred gets that kill onto Tori's guys and repays the debt that he did to Horizon, and now it's a complete offensive push now for Llamas in Pyjamas. Do they push or do they go for the Fire Giant? I reckon they're going to really be pressuring this Phoenix here.
Well, they can easily go for the push simply because even with the conviction, Ogre is going to have to back. And now with them just charging and the Shining Metal Clay Soldiers are down, and both Dagnet and Shurix are ready to get their CC ready to go.
They don't have a lot of sustain. Good taunt coming onto Weave, but now they've waited way too long, and Llamas really have to back away. They don't have that long sustainable pressure that, I mean, a Guan Yu would provide for your team. They can't really draw on these fights because they don't have the sustain other than Dagnite with that Scarab's Blessing or the lifesteal coming from the ADCs.
And now, if Deadweight won, they could possibly even like bait out this Fire Giant. They actually have the numbers. Eagles Rally on Dorada.
Rally, good stun there as well. Weave has that cavalry charge. He's looking very aggressive into the backline. Dagnite might actually be caught out here. He has 4 members chasing his tail, but they do manage to escape. And now the return offense has been applied to Deadweight, but they're actually going to call it invade the jungle or go for Fire Giant at this point. I think they can do both.
They need to be careful though, because Defender of Olympus is up, and one of the gods you can't, like, usually they could easily get a free Fire Giant, but here, Shurix is just there. He actually teleported in, he picked up a teleport because he's a solo laner.
And he actually might get caught out here. A lot of damage is being applied to Ogre, who's forced to use the ultimate there to get away from the taunt. Taunt is so strong late game, but Conviction is going to be healing up. Only good at solo. He's forced to back away once again. And they're still not fighting at these Fire Giants. Again, Llamas, instead of maybe going for a Fire Giant, they're again pressuring the side of Deadweight. Taunt missing absolutely everyone there. Agony forced to use the beads, however. The Suns come down defensively from Horizon. A lot of damage is being applied. Weave using that cavalry charge stun. 3 members there. Swifty might actually be in a lot of trouble here. Forced to use that Sanctuary, and the Scarab's Blessing popped on top of him. And again, Deadweight with that defense is going to pressure Llamas in Pyjamas once again.
Yeah, this is literally just becoming a repeat of what happened last week. I can't believe this is actually happening again. Like just the repeat, like the fire giant just being that stamina, that pillar that's like forcing everyone to be playing so passively and so patient. It's really annoying to see.
It really does draw out these games. Although Llamas did take that middle Phoenix, will they be able to do anything? The big fight breaks out here. Shred and Horizon get hit by that taunt, taking down Solo. Is Horizon, the Eagles rally, forced to be used defensively. Tory Skies doing a bit of damage here onto Only Good at Solo, using that ultimate defensively. He might be in a bit of trouble here as Ogre's looking very aggressive, but he gets turned around there. Agony using that fire shards there to pick up Tory. And it's a 4-for-4 trade here once again. It's going to be Llamas in Pyjamas. Actually, they're not going to be pressuring a Phoenix this time. They're actually looking to go onto this fire giant here.
Alright, they do need to be careful. Weave is up and he has cavalry charge. Horizon, he's in the fight still. And they need to keep an eye on things, I guess.
They definitely do. Weave using that cavalry charge once again onto Rana. Brana, who uses that movement speed passive, that buff, perfectly there to escape the damage. Shurix might be in a bit of trouble. He's taken down extremely low. Rana's doing a lot of damage with those in-hand basics onto Weave, who's really forced to just go back to his team and regroup, heal the rest of his team up. But again, it's just these constant trades that nobody's really winning. It's a 1-for-1. Nobody's really accomplishing anything at this point. I mean, if they want to really close out this game, I think that they either just screw the fire giant, just push as hard as you can, or just commit entirely to a fight.
Yeah, the hard part about this, even though Guan you can shred protection with the Tower Assault, the Kepri and the Athena makes going aggressive
It's
so
so
much
hard.
harder. Because they have so much health and so many protections. And then with the Pestilence and the Witchblade and just all these different items, they just add up. And both sides, they're stunned, like they know they can kill each other, but they both play so passively. Like this. And now we're actually seeing Nuwa has actually picked up a Book of Thoth and is just starting stacking. That's like actually a pretty smart attitude, simply because she knows this game is going to go for a lot longer.
She knows that she can easily build up those 75 stacks, which is a pretty bold statement. 43 minutes into this game, you know you're going to be farming still this late when everyone's 20, except for Weave, surprisingly, 43 minutes into this game. Everyone's builds are completely finished at this point. It's a pretty bold statement to be building an item, a stacking item this late in the game. The Fire Giant has once again been started up here by Llamas in Pyjamas, but they do need to be very aware that Deadweight have a very strong objective, secure themselves and steal away. But it gets baited and leeched once again. Neither team committing.
Yeah, with the Book of Thoth on Nubar, the thing is you actually do get quite a decent power spike the minute you pick up that item. The stacks are more just to give you that extra little bit of mana. But she already has what she needs, and since she already has a fully stacked Warlock stash, she is good to go. Rana doing a lot of damage to Shred.
And Ogre forced to use the ultimate there as well. Good taunt there as well to bring him back into the fight. Then manages to escape. Conviction here was going to bring him up. Good stun there onto Swifty, but it's not going to really be doing too much. Ogre might fall down here. Rana picks up the kill onto Ogre with that hail of arrows. And now the assault has once again begun for Llamas in Pyjamas. They look to get the taunt onto Agony. He doesn't have beads up, but he does have the Sanctuary to prevent any damage coming through from Ogre. Look at the damage coming through from Tori. And Agony forced to back away under the Phoenix, and it's very aggressive play here for Llamas in Pyjamas as they look to take out this right side Phoenix. Mid Phoenix is now respawned. Horizon gets taunted, but the beads are used perfectly there. Now they should be picking up maybe this left side Phoenix or back regroup and maybe go for a Fire Giant.
If they really want, they could probably just go for the Fire Giant now. They have 2 waves of minions actually starting to pour in. If they were quick enough, they have both Rana and Swifty to easily just burst it down with
look at the ult.
Watch out. What happened?
Look at the ults. Everyone on the side of Deadweight has the ults down. Llamas didn't use a single ult in that fight. Of course, Rana Barana has the change stance ultimate, but no ults were used on Llamas.
That is a very scary proposition. Also, Ogre forced to use the blink, and even then, Rana was like, I'm just gonna use Hail of Arrows. It has just such a long range.
Fire Giant bait has maybe begun. Rana Barana just lurking around in his jungle, has the rest of his team. 2 Phoenixes are down, so that's going to force the members of Deadweight to really push up those waves. Fire Giant now being started, but the only member there is Weave. They need to really get their rest of the team to come over to this fight. They might actually take it out. No, once again is leeched. Agony using that ult to really bring caution to the side of Llamas. Taunt missing onto Shred, however.
And also Nua actually selling the Book of Thoth and instead picking up a Soul Reaver, and I saw it didn't even do that much damage just because Dang and Shurex are just so bloody tanky.
They're
like,
too tanky.
I don't think I like made it obvious, but they are just literal walls of HP. They have at least, I think they're at least over 3,000. Yep.
No doubt. Fire Giant now started up by Swifty and Rana Barana. We're looking to take this one. The fire minions are pouring in, so they need to be aware of that. The cavalry charge comes down onto Rana into the backline. Stun doesn't come through just yet. Eagle's rally, though, however, will ensure that stun. Rana might be in a bit of trouble here. Solar Flare. I mean, the Scarab's Blessing forced to be used onto him. And now Deadweight looking very aggressive here as they look to turn onto Swifty, who might actually fall down here in a second. Forced to use that Sanctuary. The sprint comes through. Swifty falls down to only good at solo. And now Dag Knight might be in the trouble himself. Shred picks up that kill. And now... What is his turnaround? Deadweight looking extremely aggressive. They could even close out the game. Tori doing a bit of damage into the backline but doesn't find anyone. And now the right side Phoenix is now being pressured here while the fire minions are storming into their base. If they need to end this, if they want to end this, they need to end it now before the Titan gets too low.
However, taunt coming up from Shurex should absolutely melt Shurex as Taurus guys. Bulldoga, and now they're still trying to aggress onto this Phoenix. We've even using the convention trying to stay alive. However, Shurex plus Taurus guys getting the execute off, finishing off the job, and now they're forced to back while both their Titan has gotten extremely low from just the 5 minions. I think that was at least 5 waves pouring in. If they wanted, yes, you're absolutely right. Llamas could easily end this game if they wanted. However, they're just still chasing down Wheat, tormenting him. Tori using the water illusion to see if he can catch him down.
Yeah, easy. Easy pick up there by Llamas and Pyjamas. Only 2 members are alive. Have a look at the respawn timers as well, Links. Only good at solo, 40 seconds. Weave, 66 seconds. Horizon, another 40 seconds. This has got to be a base race right here. If they don't backdoor here, that's their missed opportunity. Rana and Tori can simply do it themselves. They don't need a tank. I don't think Shred and Agni can really defend at this point.
However, Tori actually has the Defender Olympus upon him, so we'll see.
The stun was way too good there. Shred might actually turn this one around, but the Agony manages to get a kill onto Tori, and that's one of their major damage outputters on Llamas. Taken down by the Fire Shards. Good work there from Shred. Triple stun there from the Eagles rally, and the Bludgeon managed to get Tori and, just Tori low enough to die from the Fire Shards.
And now we have to see Shred is just trying his best to defend the way his Dagna is pushing up the mid lane, just giving those 5 minutes a bit more of a push as he's slowly moving over to the Fire Giant. Just with Swifty alone, they could easily take the Fire Giant. With their runner as well, that is just an absolute easy free Fire Giant.
Easy Fire Giant. 50 minutes into this game. Is this Pro League? Oh, wait, Deadweight! Oh, I could have sworn Deadweight took that. It was just the respawn. My apologies there. Getting a bit excited. I could have sworn that Deadweight took that Fire Giant away from Llamas and Pyjamas.
This is like becoming basically like a case of old Nvidias. They were known for having extremely long games, and this is no exception. I don't want Llamas to be known as the Nvidias, but this is just getting ridiculous at this point. They finally start the Fire Giant. No one from Deadweight's actually even close enough to it, and they could possibly steal this away if Ogre doesn't spot this out in time.
It's taken down less than half health at this point, and it gets leeched again. 49.5 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. Fire Giant still being leeched and contested here. Titan for Deadweight is about half health as well. Troops maybe looking to get the taunt onto Weave, and the fire's now broken out. The cavalry charge gets popped for that CC immunity. Gets stunned onto Swifty, who might be in a bit of trouble here. Forced to use the Sanctuary, and that Scarab's Blessing used onto him. Rana as well. Swifty gets cleaned up by Horizon. What a perfectly timed Ricochet stun there. Tori just looking aggressive, just lurking in his jungle, waiting for somebody to get caught off guard. He could maybe catch out who has Sanctuary down. Everyone has their Sanctuary up, but right side Phoenix now being aggressed by Deadweight. Again, a massive turnaround, potentially a throw by Llamas as they take that right side Phoenix.
And now using that smoke cloud, they're just backing away. They finally are able to get that Phoenix they destroyed, I'd say about 20 minutes ago. So now they're actually looking to take this tier 2 that is still up. There's been 2 tier 2s just standing there for like half an hour now, and they are finally going to take them.
Nope, they're just going to reset then. They aren't taking the tier 2s just yet. They're waiting for the minions to push in. They might actually go for it at this point. Llamas should really defend at the Phoenix here. They should not commit to this tier 2. It does fall down in a few seconds here. Good stun there from Rana. But that's what a good call there from Llamas to just back off, defend at the Phoenix, regroup, have your entire team here. Maybe stall out a bit of the cooldowns on the ultimates that need to be popped. Phoenix is now being aggressed here. Does fall down here in a matter of basics. There we go. Left side tier 2 still up and ready for Deadweight to claim. Llamas and Pyjamas Is this a throw?
I don't even think it's a throw. Just both sides have been taken. Well, actually, did Deadweight ever actually get a fire giant for themselves? I'm trying
No,
to
they
remember.
haven't.
No, they haven't. So
There's
time
51
one
minutes.
fire giant, and they didn't take the. I don't think it's a throw. It's just they haven't been able to capitalize. Whenever they've gotten the advantage, it's always been when they've been like near their base and they've been forced to try and run all the way to Deadweight. By the time that's happened, just one member. So like even Agony, as long as he has that fire shards, he can basically block out as many members as he needs to do.
This has really been Llamas and Pyjamas' major problem. Just, I mean, if you have a look at the advantage, graphs don't really matter because everyone is maxed at this point, really. But the sheer kills, I mean, it's, what, 7 kills in favor of Llamas. Tori himself has 16 of the 25 kills. Absolutely insane. But they just can't close out these games. They can't capture that advantage they have and really just get the final push. It's really just been a baiting game, and they've allowed Deadweight to just push these fights, and that's what they're doing. They're prolonging these fights, and they can't do it against Deadweight because Weave has that sustain.
Not just Wave, Shred has the sustain. Ogre has the sustain. They both also have picked up meds as well to heal up Horizon. He has lifesteal, and Agony is the only one really who can't heal. And since the 2 meds are there, they're now actually going to start with the Fire Giant.
And there is no anti-healing. The Fire Giant is started out. Shurix does get CC'd to heck right there, forced to use that Defender of Olympus. Already 1 ultimate down. Llamas already 1 ult down. It is a 5-for-5 matchup here. No one has Fire Giant buff at this point. And again, it's another dance. They're just allowing themselves to reset. Deadweight are going to be leeching the Fire Giant. They don't want to be taking too much damage from that before Llamas can capitalize on it. But Tori just lurking in that right lane jungle. Expect him to blink over the wall and clean up Horizon here in just a second. The fight is broken out. Cavalry charge used, and Ogre hit with that taunt. Very aggressive now onto Rana, who's forced to back away in that mid lane. Tori still lurking right behind the entire team of Llamas, making sure that, of Deadweight, should I say, making sure that if they want to go for this Fire Giant, they can really turn it around on top of them. Tori looking aggressive here, but gets stunned by that Eagles rally combo. The team still starting up that Fire Giant. It is Leech at this point. Should go towards the Deadweight as they pick up their first Fire Giant of the game, and they might actually look to close out this one, Lynx.
This actually may be the final Fire Giant. Tori actually got extremely unlucky. The thing that actually allowed him to get stunned out there was the Fire Giant using that basically that magma line that knocks people up. He actually got caught in the instant he blinked in. So he basically CC'd himself by accident.
That is just too unfortunate. And paired with Agony, who used that Sanctuary to really mitigate any of the damage. Horizon also has Sanctuary down. And now the tier 2 tower is being aggressed in the left-hand side of the map. Expect Deadweight to really take this lead, that they finally have it and close out this game. 2 Phoenixes are down, but they will be respawning fairly shortly, should I say. And now the left Phoenix is now being aggressed by Deadweight.
Yes, they can actually go in if they want. They have that healing extra from the Fire Giant, and they have the heals of everyone. They just need to engage. Finally, just force them, be the aggressors.
And now the fight is broken out. Good taunt onto Horizon and Shred, but it has been reset once again. Rana needs to really back here after he's pushed up that wave. Deadweight are backing off here. They're not taking. There's only 3 members there to defend. Tori and Rana are defending another lane, but they're really just capitalizing with the cavalry charge. Comes right down onto the skulls of Llamas and Pyjamas. Ogre taking extremely low. The Scarab's Blessing was forced to be used defensively, and Ogre just lurking in the backline. Doesn't have his ult, but he does have the Fire Giant and Weave to heal himself up, so he'll be able to prolong these fights. Llamas take the middle Phoenix, falling down as soon as it respawns, and Deadweight just regrouping, healing themselves up, and pressuring another lane.
Well, they just need to take a fit. Like, they take 1 Phoenix and then they back off again. You need to take advantage of the Fire Giant. They've only got another 2 minutes remaining on that Fire Giant buff. And if they don't do something with this is just going to go on forever. Until eventually, obviously there is going to be a winner eventually, but this is just taking so long. Deadweight last time when they were able to win, they were able to win very convincingly against Inside. Today, they just haven't been able to finish out the game.
Llamas, it's straight up down to the drafts. If Druix wasn't playing Athena, I think this game really would have been over. And it's really due to just time wasting. That they're baiting these fights. Look at this, they're just dancing at this point. Like, what is the point of this? That's really the question. There's not really any strategical point in just standing at the Phoenix. They're just wasting time with their Fire Giant, waiting for the minions to storm in.
Sorry, while they're dancing, you can actually like see that 5 minutes are finally pouring into the band. It looks like Shred is now ready to aggress.
Weave using that cavalry charge once again, does get the stun, but the beads are applied onto Swifty. Agony gets a kill onto Shrooks. He died defending that Phoenix. It did fall down, however, mid Phoenix is now already down. 2 5-minion waves will be pouring in as they look to maybe take out this left side Phoenix, and all the Phoenixes on the side of Llamas. They really need to have a crucial defense here and maybe turn around once again. But the blink comes through onto Tori's guys. The Suns aren't coming down just yet. Beads was perfectly there by Tori. And he might fall down. No, Dag Knight gets a kill onto Only Good at solo, however. And they're just really throwing this lead. Just take the Phoenix and maybe go for the end and then reset after. But they've just baited this on too long.
And now only 38 seconds remain on Fire Giant. They are now finally backing off. Llamas Pyjamas possibly looking to see if they can pick anyone up. Tori does not have Blink though, so they are going to get a free back. And they're just going to reset for the next Fire Giant. They'll be spawning in 1.5 minutes.
End the game is all I'm thinking at this point in time. Oh, have a look at Tori. Gets gleaned up there as he tried to take out again one of the squishies. And 57 minutes in, teams are really starting to feel this one drag on. They're really looking to close out this game. It's I mean, 3 members are only alive for Llamas in Pyjamas. It's a 4v3 under the Phoenix here. They're looking to close this one out. Dag Knight misses the abduct there. That could have been crucial. Shrooks is respawning in about 5 seconds here. Left side Phoenix falls down. All 3 Phoenixes are down in Llamas and Pyjamas, and they have Fire Giant, not Fire Giant, Fire minions, Fire buff minions storming in from every single lane.
That was an extremely smart move by both Weave as well as Shred. They knew Tori was going to try and chase them down and see if he could find a pickup. So like, how about we just turn around? Because I'm guessing Tori thought the same thing. Oh, my blink is down. There's no way I can catch them. I may as well just like push the wave back a bit, just be a bit careful. And then they straight away turned on him.
Speaking of getting turned on Horizon, forced to use the beads. Now it's a good push here. Deadweight using the sprint. They can actually backdoor them here. The Eagles rally comes down. Cavalry charge and the Suns are popped. They can easily clean this one here. Deadweight are going to be closing out game 1 here. The Suns are going to pick that one up. 58 minutes into this game, ladies and gentlemen. Deadweight with an easy. I'm not going to say backdoor.
You said easy.
I'm not going to say it was an easy backdoor cheese strap, but I mean, Llamas were pushed up during the waves. I mean, they didn't really need to. They could have just defended and waited for them to come in. They were just separated at that point. Deadweight, you know what? Weave's like, hey, I have sprint. They're in mid, clearing waves. Let's do this. Let's just push in. Popping the sprint, cavalry charge. Eagles rally came down. They have the Suns, Agony doing so much damage as well. A drawn out game that potentially didn't even need to be that long. Whew,
yeah, next game I'm really hoping they ban out the Alquang. Tori Skies is just too well known for that Alquang. And I think that was partially the reason. Also, not to mention the fact that obviously the 2 tanky Guardians just made things even harder. But the Alquang really put the doubt in people's minds. And once that's out of the picture, I feel like Deadweight are going to have a much easier second game. However, if Llamas can draft the Alquang again and they don't draft as tanky, they kind of change it up a bit. And they do a kind of similar strategy, they might be able to win but quicker. So we'll see what happens in game number 2.
We'll be back in just a second.